Moving on to my last segment here, Gregg Popovich and Kawhi Leonard. Gregg Popovich a couple nights ago during the Spurs faithful roaring boos down on Kawhi Leonard uh, in an unprecedented move that we've never seen before. I can only think about other times when coaches grabbed the PA system. It was Mo Cheeks helping that girl way back in Portland, sing the national anthem. Larry Brown at the course of the Malice in the Palace, telling fans to stop throwing stuff, get back to your seats, let the players figure it out, get the players off the court. That's the only other two times I can really think about a coach grabbing a mic and speaking to the audience in some form or fashion. Gregg Popovich coming out and saying to the Spurs faithful as Kawhi Leonard was at the line, and respectfully so, they're going to boo him. He's not wearing a Spurs uniform. And Gregg Popovich saying, that's not who we are. We're better than this. Let's let the players play. And which is crazy to me because that's naturally what fans are supposed to do to opposing teams, regardless if they play there or not. They are not in your jersey. They're not playing for your state. They're not playing for your team. You have every right to boo them. And Gregg Popovich really I feel like this was just a weird moment for him, who I think is the greatest coach of all time, to take this move and say to a former player, we shouldn't boo him. We should let the players play in the sport where booing and jeering, all that is a part of the game. When you go to play and pick up, people are on the sidelines talking crap all the time. When you go to an NBA game, fans are talking crap all the time. So to see this from Gregg Popovich and him saying, hey, we're above this, in the post game saying, hey, we don't poke the bear, basically saying, hey, you don't wake them up. As a team who just recently lost tonight and has lost 11 in a row, I don't think that's the issue with the fans booing the opposing team. So looking at it from that standpoint, it's very, very weird. And a lot of people have pointed out, of course, over the couple of years, the past, decade, that Gregg Popovich has been pretty damn short with the media in terms of their engagement and how he goes at them and tell them that they're asking stupid questions, which sometimes is warranted. That's definitely warranted at times. But looking at it from that standpoint and then looking at this situation where he's saying we shouldn't boo him is very, very strange. And I just came up with the weird conclusion that he's looking to kind of mend those fences with Kawhi a little bit there and seeing how Kawhi Leonard is a free agent and that the Spurs might have some cap space, maybe roughly $35 to $40 million. Maybe they can make some trades to boost that up, and maybe make an offer towards Kawhi Leonard. Maybe. That's what I'm looking at it from that standpoint. That's the only angle I can think of because you have Victor Wembanyama. Maybe you add Kawhi. Maybe you have some defensive tandem there. Maybe you're seeing something that we're not. But to just think of that, you're just grabbing the mic for your first time ever. So I believe he's been coaching since 1996, 1997 season. To think that you're just doing that because you're tired of the booing is ridiculous. And the Spurs are one of the best fan bases in the league. They show up, they show out, they love their team, they support their team. To sit there and turn on the fans and basically say, hey, we don't want you guys to boo our former player and boo the opposing team is wild and a very questionable point for Gregg Popovich. And the only thing that I can come to the conclusion is that, hey, he wants Kawhi Leonard back on the Spurs next year. And that's the play he's playing. And that's the only thing I can think of. And I'm not saying that they don't have a mutual respect, him and Kawhi and stuff like that. They did win a championship together. They did trade for Kawhi Leonard on draft night. So to look at it from that standpoint, it isn't like there isn't a history between those two. But it's crazy. As I said, even Kawhi Leonard said, hey, as long as I'm not wearing a Spurs uniform, they're probably going to boo me. So that is very surprising to look at Gregg Popovich and see him here take this route. And I'm just confused by it. And hopefully they can figure that out because I'm just like, I don't understand that point. And seeing how the Spurs lost 11 in a row, Obviously, they're not trying to win. They're playing Jeremy Shohan at point guard when they have Tyus Jones' brother, I believe, as the backup point guard when he's naturally a point guard. So looking at it from that standpoint, the Spurs are not trying to win. Very weird in their tanking season so far this season. So I can only see this as a ploy to try to get Kawhi Leonard back, and they can try to build something promising around the league. That's the only thing I can come up to. But that will do it for this episode of the Basketball Soapbox. Thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget to check out Ring Takes, my wrestling podcast that continues to go on. Survivor Series is tonight as well. A lot of things, we already made our picks, so check that out as well. And thank you for joining me. And we'll continue to go on with this in-season tournament, which I will talk about at some point. I'm also looking to do a quarter season recap when we get around the 20-game mark of the NBA season. And talk about that and see what we like around the league so far and things that I'm looking at and seeing so far in this NBA season. But thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, until next time.